Start your day with Mornings with Vernon on WBQP, Monday through Friday from 6:30 to 9 a.m. Watch on Channel 12 and listen on WBQP Radio on your phone, Alexa, or CarPlay. WBQP is your information station.
It's time for Mornings with Vernon. Yeah. Yeah. Get up now. Come on now. Get up. For Mornings with Vernon. Get up now. Let's go. Get up now. Turn it up now. 1, 2, 3. Let's get it out.
All right, y'all. Good morning. It's time for Morning with Vernon. Yes, it is. Good morning, everybody. I hope you got your cup of coffee this morning. Yeah, I hope you got your cup of coffee like I got my cup of coffee this morning. Yeah, y'all. Good morning, good morning, good morning. We're going to talk about a lot of good things this morning. It is midday Wednesday, Mesmerizing Wednesday, y'all. Yeah, good morning, everybody. Let's see what we got on the agenda on a Wednesday, y'all. You know what they said, Vernon is Wednesday. Vernon is Wednesday already. And so let's have a great Wednesday day, okay? We're going to talk about, first of all, tell everybody how to get us, first of all, okay? Tell everybody how to get us on the radio. Okay. On the radio, you can get us on Alexa, or you can go to CarPlay or Auto Android. You can get us, or you can get us on your phone on the radio. On the TV, you can get us on channel 12.1 if you live in the local area. If you live, also you live in the local area, outside local area, you can get us on Roku. You can get us on Fire Stick. You can get us on Apple TV. You can get us on Google TV. You can get it on Android TV. You can get us on Samsung TV, on any of the smart TVs, okay? If you're looking at us on the phone, if you're looking at us on the internet, you can get us, just go to the WBQP TV website, or you can go, just type in rdo.to in any browser, on your phone, on your tablet, on your computer, anything that got a browser on it, and you can get us, okay? So there's no excuse. The only place we are not on is cable, but who needs cable anyway? But we're going to talk this morning a little bit about what's going on in and around your world, in the news cycle, the headlines in around Pensacola, in around Gulf Coast, in around the state of Florida, and around these United States or divided states of America, okay? All right, we're going to talk to you about what's the weather like. You know, it's been a little rainy and a little wet recently, okay? Raining and wet a little recently, okay? And so we had a dry spell for a minute, but now we are having a great, a lot of rain. A lot of rain can come out of nowhere now. Could come out of nowhere. And also, not only do we have we're going to be talking about some public service announcement and get into community news this morning and give us a little bit of Black history. We're going to make sure we get that in there. 7:30 time frame. Hopefully we'll be talking to Mr. Ellison Bennett. I called him Mr. Community. And at 7:45 this morning, we'll be talking to Miss Jill Daggs. She got to tell us what's inside Okaloosa and also what's happening around Santa Rosa this morning. Mr. Charles D. Thornton Sr. is my special guest. I call him the other side with Charles D. Thornton. And at 8:30, folks, I got a special guest by the name of Mr. Eric Shorter. Eric Shorter, y'all, is running for mayor of Pensacola. And so you'll get a chance to meet Mr. Eric Shorter this morning. And hopefully that if you're standing in the need of prayer, as we do every hour or so, we we have prayer with Dr. J. O'Gaston. Okay. But you don't want to wait for prayer now. You just call them anytime at this number here. Just call them. If you're standing in, call them just to see. Okay. If you don't believe me, just call them. 850-698-0571. 850-698-0571. He said changes. I tell him all the time. I said, Doc, prayer changes things. He said, you got that right, but also prayer changes people. So give him a call. Give him a call over there. And y'all make sure everybody knows about Vernon Morning with Vernon. Every morning. We on Monday through Friday. I want people to tune in every day here, Monday through Friday, with Morning with Vernon. And we try to get all the information out. We all try to tell all of the public service announcements and community news. And we are the voice of the Black community. We're the station that cares. We're the information station, y'all. Yes, sir. We are the information station. Yeah. See? That's what I'm talking about. Yeah. Yeah. It is Tuesday, y'all. Yeah. Can you believe it's Tuesday, they say? Yeah, I can believe it's Tuesday.
It's going to be a warm Wednesday, high 83, low 64, and rain is in the forecast. Have a good hump day.
All righty, y'all. You heard that. Rain is in the forecast. So good morning, everybody. We're going to go ahead and take a quick commercial break, y'all, like we usually do every morning about this time. But when we come back, we're going to get right into some of the headline news, okay? Stay tuned.
It's time for Mornings with Vernon. Yeah. Yeah. Get up now. Come on now. Get up. For Mornings with Vernon. Get up now. Let's go. Get up now. Turn it up now. 1, 2, 3. Let's get it now.
Navigating heart care can be challenging. Baptist makes it better with the latest treatments and innovations and the area's largest, most experienced heart team ready to create a care plan just for you. All when you need us most. Let Baptist make it better. Baptist Healthcare.
I remember these. Will I have the money to send my kid to college? Well, that's specific. How long has that been there? 7-letter word for a bank that helps you reach your goals.
Synovus. Order for Synovus?
Thank you.
Are you Synovus?
Yes.
Are you gonna ask or should I?
A solid financial future doesn't happen by chance. Let's talk about your potential today.
For 75 years, Baptist has brought innovative care to our community. Through our Andrews Institute, we continue the legacy by providing advanced total joint care, restoring mobility, strength, and quality of life. Baptist Healthcare, here for you then, now, and always.
What is your story? It may take time to find it. You may even question if you have one worth telling. But when all seems lost, your story finds you. Because you don't need permission. Just a place. And we'll be waiting. The American Black Film Festival. Everyone has a story. Yours belongs here.
Why wait? With Penn Air's fast approvals and low rates, getting a car loan is easier than ever. Penn Air Credit Union. Join us.
For 35 years, WBQP TVV Radio has been the unwavering voice of the Black community on the Gulf Coast. Your community information station.
Choosing the right school is one of the most important decisions you'll make for your child. At Jacqueline Harris Preparatory Academy, we provide a safe, supporting environment where students grow academically and personally. With strong core instruction and unique programs, students gain confidence, creativity, and real-world skills. At JHPA, we live by our motto, enter to learn, depart to serve. Enroll today and prepare your child to soar.
So what day is the meeting? Fun day.
With daily draw games starting at $1, every day shall henceforth be known as Fun Day.
Every day's Fun Day with Pick Games, featuring drawings twice a day. The Florida Lottery. It's good fun.
WBQP TV and WBQP Radio are the voice of the Black community in Pensacola.
This is your WBQP TV 12 Sports Report. Blue Wahoo's Update. Good morning, Vernon. Your Pensacola sports fans will want to hear this. So, turn your volume up because your Blue Wahoos are absolutely heating up the diamond. Right now, the boys are locked into an intense road series up in Birmingham against the Barons. But don't you worry, the Wahoos will be right back here on the waterfront next week. And man, look at the momentum we're riding. Check the board. Pitcher Jacob Miller just put on an absolute clinic, dominant on the mound to secure that beautiful 4-1 victory over Chattanooga. Show some love to the skipper, too. Manager Nelson Prada just hit a massive milestone, capturing his 800th career managerial victory. That is how you lead a clubhouse, folks. The pipeline to the big leagues is staying strong, with our former Wahoos making big waves and earning those call-ups to the Miami Marlins. We are hovering right around that .500 mark, staying fiercely competitive in a tough South Division. You can still follow all the action on the road, support your hometown team, and lock in your tickets right now for the big return to Admiral Fetterman Field on June 2nd. Proud, passionate, Pensacola. That was your WBQP TV Sports Report. Go Wahoos!
I'm David Williams, District 3 Representative seeking re-election to the Escambia County School Board. 4 years ago, I stated together we can make a difference. Today, I'm proud to say together we have made a difference, and we have safer schools, our students are college and career ready, and we've closed the achievement gap. I'm asking for your support to re-elect me, David Williams, as your school board representative for District 3. Please visit my Facebook page as well as my campaign website at davidwilliams3.com. Thank you.
Keep growing.
Remember where you came from. It's the foundation of who you are.
Show up for others.
That's been our approach at Penn Air for 90 years. Penn Air Credit Union, 90 years strong.
This is Prayer Perspectives by J.O. Getson on your WBQP.
This is J.O. Gatson of Emmaus Baptist Church, Pensacola, and we come before you on this Wellness Wednesday. We thank God that our beds weren't our cooling boards this morning, but that He got us up in due time, due season. So we want to celebrate wellness on a Wednesday morning. If you will, pray with me. I can hear the words over the book of 3 John, where he says, "For I rejoice greatly when the brethren came." And Lord, as we pray, I can hear John saying, "Beloved, I wish above all things that thou mayest prosper in wealth and in health, and in health and in wellness." And so, dear God, this is our prayer this morning. This is Wellness Wednesday. This is a Wednesday where we find, or we project, or we pray, or we believe that everything is well with us. Not in just body, not in just spirit. But John said that in the midst of his letter to the saints, he wanted us to prosper in wellness. So, Father God, as we pray this morning, this is our Wellness Wednesday. This is the morning that we pray for spiritual wellness, for prosperity wellness, for the wellness of our bodies, for the sanity of our minds, that everything concerning us and those that are connected with us are in the midst of wellness for this day. Lord, we love you for just bringing us forth into a new day called Wednesday. And Father God, this is our prayer. We pray that you oversee us throughout this day. But our theme and our thought, dear God, is wellness for whatever is ailing us, as we pray in the belovedness of Jesus the Christ, our Lord, our Savior, the one that was wounded on the cross for us. Amen.
Hello, I'm David Williams, District 3 Representative, seeking re-election to the Escambia County School Board. 4 years ago, I said, together we can make a difference. Today, I'm proud to say together we have made a difference, thanks to your trust. And because of you, we do not have any failing schools. Our schools are safer. We've closed the achievement gap, and our students are college and career ready. I'm asking for your support again to re-elect me so that we continue the work that we started 4 years ago. Please visit my website at davidwilliams3.com to learn more about my initiatives I have accomplished and the ones I will pursue over the next 4 years. Early voting is August 8th through the 15th, and the primary is August 18th. Your vote is essential to keeping our community moving forward. Thank you.
Vernon, it's going to be a warm Wednesday, high 83, low 64, and rain is in the forecast. Have a good hump day.
Hi, Vernon. Here's your WBQP weekly weather forecast. Wednesday, we'll see a slight break in the wet weather. Expect a high of 82 degrees with a low of 69 and only a 20% chance of rain. Thursday brings partly cloudy skies with a 60% chance of showers. Highs will reach 83 degrees with lows around 70. And we wrap up the week on Friday with partly cloudy conditions and a 20% chance of showers. Highs will reach 82 degrees with overnight lows around 72. Overall, it's a warm and humid week with several opportunities for showers. This is Cheryl Mulrain, and that's your weekly weather forecast. Have a great week and keep it locked right here on WBQP TV and radio.
WBQP salutes the spirit of America, celebrating 250 years of freedom. Happy birthday, USA!
It's time for Mornings with Vernon. Yeah. Yeah. Get up now. Come on now. Get up. For Mornings with Vernon. Get up now. Let's go. Get up now. Turn it up now. 1, 2, 3. Let's get it.
All right, everybody. Good morning. It's Morning with Vernon. Yes, it is. Morning with Vernon. All right, y'all. It's not only is Morning with Vernon, but we're gonna get into a little bit of the news this morning. Okay, on a Wednesday morning, we'll get a little bit of that this morning, and we'll be right back, okay?
Live from WBQP News Desk, this is your Headlines News Summary with Vernon Watson.
Now here is Vernon Watson with his version of today's headlines.
Good morning, Vernon. I know you are ready to give your version of the headlines news for Pensacola.
All right, y'all. I am ready to give my version of the headline news, and guess what head pops up there lining this morning, y'all? I tell you the truth, Lord have mercy. This Century man here was arrested at a food mart after attacking an elderly woman, y'all. And you can see they must have oopsed him upside his head. Look at the right side of his jaw. Lord have mercy. I don't know what happened, but they say that a Century man is behind bars this morning. This is according to EAR, WAR TV, y'all. Like I said, I get my news just like y'all get your news, but I just want you to give you the headline. But anyway, this guy by the name is one thing I noticed about when they put this news out, they always never fail to get a picture of a brother. And then they tell his name and everything. Sometimes that don't always happen. But anyway, let's don't talk about politics in the news, Vernon Watson. Okay, let's give the news. Let's give the headline. But anyway, Mr. Cartel Davidson, y'all, 32 years old, is facing several charges because he abused an elderly man. And of course, he was resisting arrest. And you can see what he got from resisting arrest. Look like the side of his face is rolled up. So they must have ooped him upside the head. This up in Flomaton. No, this up in Century, Florida, y'all. Yeah, he was put behind bars the other day, y'all. So they had 4 deputies showed up at the trailer where it all started. And they heard a woman screaming, "Get off of him! Get off of him!" And so they said they saw this man punching a disabled man, picked him up and threw him to the floor like a rag doll. That's what the lady said. She picked him up and threw him down on the floor like a rag doll. But when the 4 officers came there, I guess they opened up their can of whoop ass, and the rest is history, y'all. Yeah, the rest is history. Okay, all right, let's go on to the next story this morning. All right, folks, at the ACA, we were reported some news probably about a month ago. They're still not really happy over there at the ACA. And the reason I think they are issuing, because they have, I think they over there, they have a union, and the nurses over there this is over in Walton and over in Okaloosa County, Walton Destin Hospital, where the nurses is picketing over safety concern and staff shortage. And that was in the news, and I can remember probably about a month ago saying the same thing. So they get outside the hospital, and they still trying to fight for their rights, so patient safety and staffing shortages. They say that they're not getting enough time to care for the patient. Only like one nurse said they only get like 3.5 minutes per patient or something like that, and it's not acceptable. But I think probably more the problem is because those nurses decided to unionize back in September. I believe they decided to unionize, and they have been negotiating their contract ever since the beginning of the year. So that is one of the things that is happening over there. But we shouldn't have to be fighting for basic human rights. I don't understand that. But anyway, in why we don't want to pay people livable wage for the folks that gonna have to take care of you, okay? And then we pay them $1.8 billion to tear up the damn White House, but they're not willing to pay nurses and firefighters and police officers and teachers a livable wage that let them live comfortably. Jesus, help me. Ooh. Yep. News according to Vernon this morning. Okay. I'm in overdrive this morning. Good morning, y'all. Again, let's go to something else that you might want to pay attention to right now. They got a large hole that developed on 9th Avenue and Chase Street, y'all. So if you're in and around that area, the Pensacola Police Department want to warn drivers of that large hole. You don't want to end up in that hole. That hole is it's just south of Chase Street, and the folks that driving in the north and southbound lanes are open, but there is narrower than normal. So Pensacola Police Department they put out stuff last night, I believe, all night to make sure nobody crashed into that hole. Okay, ECUA, and I guess it's a sinkhole. Or maybe ECUA is working on it and everything, but they expect to be fixed within the next day or two. Okay, so they say don't fret, my pet. Everything going to be all right. Okay, everything going to be all right. All right, let's go to the next story here. Escambia County and the city of Pensacola is getting prepared, y'all, for that new property tax impact. Remember, we talked yesterday about property tax on the show, the impact that property tax. Yeah, we all like lower property taxes, but it comes with a tremendous cost, y'all. You're gonna lose services. It's a lot of them property tax dollars fund the police department, the city budget, the county budget, the school board budget, a whole lot of stuff that you don't realize that your property tax doing. And in fact, well, since we don't pay state income tax, so it's maybe a reprieve from that. I don't know, but I'm telling you, the problem now is that DeSantis wanted to do away with property taxes. He didn't get his way. They had a legislative special session, and so what the Florida lawmaker did was they kind of revised DeSantis' property tax proposal. Instead of giving him what he wanted, they proposed a different one to put out on the referendum, put out to vote on this election cycle in November. Both the Florida House approved it and the Florida Senate approved it. The Florida House approved this new measure, 75 by 26, the Senate approved it by 30 by 9. But anyway, what they decided to do, they would gradually do away with property taxes, if you will. So what are they saying now? They said homestead exemption will go. I don't get no 50,000. That must be for rich folk. Okay. I don't get 50,000. I thought I'd get a $25,000 homestead exemption. But if I get a $50,000, that's good. Okay. I'm not gonna cry about it. But anyway, the Florida legislature is saying that they're gonna go from a $50,000 homestead exemption to a $150,000 home exemption in 2027. And then they're going to go from 150,000 to 250,000 in 2028 and so forth. So that's their new proposal to deal with the property tax. And they're going to leave some stuff in place for the school board and stuff like that. So you have to read it, you get in detail and read all about it. But they're going to try to have it on the agenda for folks to vote on, I believe, in the September thing. So DeSantis did not get exactly what he wanted, but they on his way. But the people will decide. Okay, we will decide that a little later on. Okay. All right. Now let's go to another story here, y'all. Seniors versus crime in Northwest Florida. Okay. It is sad that people take advantage of senior citizens. Okay. We got to worry about all kinds of fraud. Remember the day we always been dealt with. We didn't call it fraud back in the day, y'all. We used to call it flim flam. Remember that? You got flim flam. Well, the new word is scam. Scam flam. You got scam. So every year, older people are scammed, and I say flim flammed, out of billions of dollars every year. And in fact, in Florida, $710 million to the tune of $710 million that older folks were scammed out of stuff due to fraudulent stuff like that. And it's so easy now. They're doing it in the mail. They're doing it on the phone. They're doing it on the computer. They're doing it everywhere. So we want folks to be aware, the local people to be aware of that. Okay? Be aware. I got Mr. Ellison Bennett. Ellison, what you got, man? Okay. I'll call you. I'll call you, Mr. We'll try to do it on the phone. If you can't, you sure you cannot get that link on it, right?
I don't know.
Okay. I'll tell you what, we'll do it by phone.
Okay, you'll call me at 7:30?
I will.
Thank you, sir.
All right, yeah. Mr. Ellison Bennett. Yeah. All right. He's having phone issues. Mr. Bennett is having some phone issues. He's gonna call this report in by phone. But anyway, this is live, y'all. This is live television. So we don't pretend to be no Channel 3 and NBC News and ABCs, and we don't do that. This is community stuff. We live and live in color. So you're gonna take the mistake. You're gonna take our mistake. What we said, we take our mistakes for love. So we're live and on it. So whatever you see is what you get here. And if you want me to jolly pies for it, I'll jolly pies. Okay. But I just want you to know that it is what it is. Okay. So don't expect WBQP to be just like everybody else. We down to earth. We're real here. Okay. We're real TV and we're real people. Okay. Now let's go back to the news. Let's go back to the news again. Okay. And I was talking about senior citizen being flim-flam, if you will. Okay. I want to go back to that just for 1 second, if I can. Okay. Before Ellison called, and he wanted to make sure that he was having trouble getting a link onto his phone for his report today, so he wanted to call it in. But anyway, I want you to be very vigilant. You young people, you grandchildren, your children, and even seniors, you listening to me, be very careful out there. It's very easy to be scammed. Whether you're talking about your bank or you don't check out everything. The folks saying that you owe money, or somebody call you and say your grandson is down in Mexico and he needs money to get back and all that. Don't fall for all that okie doke. Okay, don't do that. These people that call every day, 15 times a day, on your phone, let that go to voicemail. Okay, all of them all them stupid calls you get, and sometimes people get real caught up into the now literally lose the farm, if you will, and they don't tell anybody. So Florida, and the reason they don't tell anybody because it is embarrassing. It is absolutely embarrassing when you got conned, a flim flam, a scam. Oh, you can call all kinds of names for it. It doesn't matter. It makes no difference than somebody coming along, and it's the same thing as if somebody stuck a gun to your head. Okay, you're being robbed. Okay, you're being robbed. So if you're being robbed, report it. Okay, report it. I don't care how embarrassing it is because you got a chance of maybe getting your money back, but chances are you're probably not. But anyway, just be careful is all I'm saying to you. Be careful in you dealing with people. Talk to folks about anything that somebody call you on the telephone, or if you go on social media and find some crazy stuff, texting, they do it in texting, they do it in the mail, they always doing it, okay? And we always want to get something for nothing. And if it's too good, y'all, here's the rule that I live by, okay? Here's the rule I live by. And I find this to be real true. And I got this from my grandmama. And she was a smart lady. As I said, and I thought she was the dumbest woman on earth when I was living with her. But it turns out that she was the smartest woman I known. But she always told me, she has always told me, said, no such thing as a free lunch, son. Okay. And also she used to say, if it's too good to be true, it probably isn't. So you think about that, y'all. If it's too good to be, so when you're trying to make money, or you're going to be scammed or flim flam or whatever you want to do. All right, now I'm going to move to another story. You know, and we were reporting all week that some people are now complaining that they're finding animals dead, that the chickens, they've been finding the chickens dead, their bees dead, their birds dead, and so forth. And they're trying to put it off on the pesticides that FPL contractors use to spray, that herbicide, I guess they use to spray to keep the foliage down on the major power lines. And they're trying to say that might be contributed to it. That's allegedly what they're saying. So I don't know what the deal is. But this lady says she found a big bird on her roof. Okay, and this must be up in the north end of the county. She said she found this big old bird dead on the roof. Didn't know it was up there until vultures start landing on the roof. Vultures on her roof. Yep. And then somebody went out and said, "Oh, you got a bird up there." She said, "Yeah, okay, that little birdie. I'll let me go and get the little broom and sweep the little birdie out." Found out this was a big ass bird. Okay, and we don't know what kind it is. And what she did was the right thing you're supposed to do. Is she called the Fish and Wildlife Commission, and they didn't come out. But what they did do, tell her that she need to remove it or bury it up or do something on her own. But they did tell her to wear protected clothing and stuff like that, because you never know what disease or whatever the bird is carrying and so forth. Okay. But you would think like I was thinking, then they ought to come out and investigate. No, they didn't. They said, "You on your own, sister." Okay, you on your. I think there was up in Cantonment. So if you involved with that, and they don't know what to call the death, and think they should have came out and determined what they call the death is of the bird, so that if it is attributed to something like pesticide, something like that, and then they should take care of it. All right, let's move on to a different story. Okay. Different story. You know, in the last couple of weeks now, there's been a little brouhaha between Baldwin County and Escambia County, specifically with Orange Beach. They were reported last week that an Orange Beach police officer was seen dropping off a homeless man at the Pensacola Waterfront Rescue Mission, and then somebody wanted to know, why are you dropping them off? You in an Orange County police cruiser dropping off a man here. I think it was happening last Monday or something like that. But anyway, so there have been kind of a thing of contentions on why they're doing that, because we're saying here, well, we just got enough, we don't have enough resources to service our own homeless people. But the waterfront mission, as good as they don't turn anybody away. They don't turn anybody away. But I think the city of Pensacola and the Escambia County government. I was talking to Commissioner Mike Coulter on Monday night, and he said that they was having some discussion with the Orange County. The Baldwin County over in Orange Beach on why. But I think they did have a meeting yesterday, if I'm not mistaken. And so the bottom line is they say they're not going to do that anymore. Okay. That's what they say. Okay. And so they had talked, I think Channel 3 News had talked to somebody over at the waterfront mission, and they said they seen buses coming from Birmingham and Montgomery and dropping people off as well. So we must be a haven. We must be a haven for the homeless. But any rate, y'all, you're gonna hear Chip Simmons talked a little bit about it last Friday on my show. Mike Coulter talked about it Monday a little bit on my show. So it's a little bit of an issue here, y'all. But anyway, can I move on? I want to move on to a different, more sadder story right here now. And I hate to report these things. This is a 25-year-old Milton man. He was killed on I-10 when he veered off and hit a tree over in Santa Rosa County. That's according to the Florida Highway Patrol. It happened, I think, about 8:30 last night or something like that. He was driving a 2023 Genesis, and you're going eastbound, and for some reason, he lost control because he wasn't able to negotiate a curve. And we don't know what all factors are involved with that. But of course, it will be under investigation. So it went off the shoulder of I-10 and went into the woodlands where he collided with a tree. And tree versus car and tree versus people, tree always win. Okay. That's just the bottom line. So just be cautioned and make sure that you understand that. Okay, and drive safe. Let these news accounts be news for you, that you will take it as safety measures. Okay, now, speaking of, we're going to be talking to Jill Daggs at 7:45. We're going to talk about Okaloosa County here for a minute. Crab Island, y'all, if you hadn't been over to Destin area over in Okaloosa County. It's a popular area over there where you get a lot of boats and it's all. But they had a takeover over there over in Destin, and so it resulted into fights and people arrested and a lot of disturbances over there. So this past weekend, so if you living in that area. And I know people love Destin. They love to go to Destin. They love to go to Fort Walton Beach area there. And then people from out of town, from all over the world, visit that area there. And so this stupid stuff they talking about takeovers is probably uncalled for. Okay, probably uncalled for. Something else is that state is calling for, and I don't know what it's called for or not. But all I know is AI. People are challenging AI. State of Florida is suing Open AI and Chat GPT and trying to hold them accountable for disregard for human life. So we'll see how that story unfolds. I do understand the concern for putting safeguards into AI, and so that people are not hurt and concerned. People a little bit afraid of what AI is, but you have to think about any new technology that comes on the scene. People are obviously fearful of anything that's new, like COVID, how we overreacted sometimes in some cases of COVID. You remember when computers came on the scene, we kind of was afraid of that technology. When the internet came on that scene, we was a little bit afraid of that kind of technology. But all these technologies are good. It's just cell phones. Remember that? Remember the days of cell phones and people beeper? All of that technology. Is all I'm saying to you is stuff that we're a little bit afraid of. But right now, they're trying to get control, maybe some regulations, if you will, on AI. Okay, so but Florida is suing the company now, so we'll see what happens. Here, y'all, they found 9 loggerhead turtle nests have been recorded on Pensacola Beach and over in the Perdido Key area. So you know what that means. If you find, do not mess with those nests, okay? Do not mess with those nests because they're finding them, and you will go to jail. I'm telling you now, because these are sea turtles and they are protected. And so if you see them or if you see where they're burying the eggs at, do not mess around with them. Just a fair warning, okay? Just a fair warning. But they've been seeing these turtles going in and out of the beaches there. All right, let's move on to another story here. Oh Lord, this man here, he had been missing for a while, and they found his remains near Eglin Air Force Base. They found his car probably about a month ago, but he had been missing from the Phoenix Springs for a while. But somebody found his skeletal remains near the Eglin Air Force property there, and they have identified him as John Thomas Watson, JT Watson. He was 38 years old, and he went missing shortly after he got out of prison back in July of 2015. So they found his skeletal remains. Okay. All righty then. Let's go to the next story here, y'all. It's Escambia County. If you're into fishing and you're into scuba diving and spear fishing and all that good stuff, well, they're doing some burial reefs out there now, okay? In fact, Escambia County deployed 43 new artificial reefs off of Pensacola Path. So if you're involved in that, then that's something that might be an interest to you. This guy here is your Vice El Presidente, Mr. What is his name? JT Vance, okay? Now, they say from standout to dark horse, who might run in 2028? These two fellas here, y'all. Well, I don't understand this, but hey, each to his own. Both of these fellas work for your illustrious president, Mr. John Thomas. I guess his name is Trump. I don't know what his middle name is. Anyhow, I don't like to say his name because I get Trump derangement syndrome going on, but he playing these like a fiddle, okay? Now, normally speaking, in any normal environment, which is so normal, is it normal now? The vice president of the United States generally is the automatic successor to the throne, okay? Now, Trump is pitting J.D. Vance against Little Marco. He called Little Marco, okay? And so he had, oh, let me move on. Lord have mercy. Jesus, everything that man do is stupid, just like him, just stupid. I don't even like to talk about it. Now, this man, he's also worked for President Stupid, and he said millions could face coverage loss under the new medicated work rule. Okay, you know they're changing the work rule now on the Medicaid, and also while we on that subject, they're changing the SNAP rules too, because they're saying that if I got to bring that back to you, some news about SNAP as well, because if you're certain things, you have to be able to get a job to get SNAP now. But we'll bring you that we'll bring you that news a little bit later on. Okay. But anyhow, and this is another news you need to check out because you could be impacted by this coverage loss here. Okay. About this. Okay. All right. It's getting pretty close to my time with Ellison here. You know, they had election night across the country last night. Okay. And so a lot of the key races that you're gonna find that California, I don't know, I didn't get a chance to see what the results was from the news last night. But in California, and you know, Karen Bass, she was the mayor of California. She was in a dead heat race, y'all, against a reality star. Okay, a reality star, if you can believe that, a reality star. So so into that, all that breaking news. I don't know, hear all of the good stuff about that. So you need to read about that as well. Okay, so you can catch up on that. California and other key states had their primaries last night, so you might want to keep your eyes on that as well. All right, another story here. A Canadian man is another crazy story here. A Canadian man admits his role in the death of 73 people who killed themselves. Okay, I wish I had time to go into that story, but I really don't have time to go in that story. There's another story here that politically based here about a sexing scandal. Y'all know what a sexing is? Sexing, that is sending sexual messages by text. That's what they call sexing. And this man he was a Maine Democrat by the name of Plattner. I think his name was Plattner, but he was trying to unseat Susan Collins. But we Democrat, we can't get a break for nothing. Okay, they was hoping that they were trying to flip that Senate seat up in Maine against Susan Collins, that we've been there for 100 years, and I thought that Trump would have been doing better, but we will. But then that's how she sound. But Susan Collins. But anyway, the Democrat put up this guy by the name of Graham Plattner. I think his name was Graham Plattner. Oh, this man got so many issues, Lord have mercy. But that's the six of it, okay? That's the six of it, okay? But the half a dozen of it, look how many issues your president got. And he still got elected. He out there screwing up, but that ought to be a precautionary tale. Just because all the havoc he's making and because of his past, that ought to be a lesson to be learned. We might be right not to elect this scoundrel, because my mama said, and my grandmama said, that the only way you can predict people's future is by their past, okay? And people don't change, okay, what you say. So if you want to see what their future is like or their present, look in the past, and they'll tell you. And they don't change. I'll tell you that right now. They don't change. All right, y'all. I tell you, speaking of not changing, I don't change the way I do my news. I just do it so you can have something to talk about during the day when you get out of when you're on your way to work and you say, "Did you hear that WBQP news this morning?" Yeah, did you hear that? Did you hear the headlines? All right, but I don't know what you gonna do, but I got to take a break, y'all. I'm gonna have to take a break, but when I come back from the break, hopefully we'll be talking to Mr. Community, Mr. Ellison Bennett. We're going to be talking to him by phone this morning is never as good as it is when he zoomed into me. But when we come back, we also, hopefully, we're going to be dealing with Mr. Charles D. Thornton. He's my co-host on Wednesday. Whenever he ain't nothing else to do, he's my co-host on Wednesday. And also around the 8:30 time frame, we will be talking to Mr. Eric Shorter, which is a candidate for Pensacola mayor. Y'all go ahead and call Dr. Joe Gasson and call for me and ask him to pray for me. Oh, y'all know I need help. Okay. You know I need some help. All right, y'all. Let's do it.
It's going to be a warm Wednesday, high 83, low 64, and rain is in the forecast. Have a good hump day.
It's time for Mornings with Vernon. Yeah. Yeah. Get up now. Come on now. Get up. For Mornings with Vernon. Get up now. Let's go. Get up now. Turn it up now. 1, 2, 3. Let's get it now.
WBQP TV Pensacola Area Sports Update, week of May 24th through May 31st, 2026. The Pensacola Blue Wahoos continue battling in the Southern League's South Division race and enter the week hovering around the 500 mark while preparing for a key road series against the Birmingham Barons. The Wahoos have shown strong recent pitching performances and remain in playoff contention heading into June. The Pensacola Ice Flyers are officially in off-season mode following the 2025-26 SPHL season. Team management recently announced its protected player list for the upcoming 2026-27 season, highlighted by returning standouts Tyler Burney, Matt Allen, and rookie sensation Sam Rhodes, who earned SPHL Co-Rookie of the Year honors. Pensacola FC continues its 2026 soccer campaign with growing community support and competitive play across both men's and women's programs. The club remains active with regional matchups and youth development events throughout the Gulf Coast soccer community this week. At the University of West Florida, the Argonauts continue preparations for a historic transition to NCAA Division I competition. UWF recently unveiled its 2026 football schedule, marking the program's debut at the FCS level. Meanwhile, Argonaut baseball remains active in postseason competition following a strong spring season.
The State Farm Personal Price Plan helps you create an affordable price just for you. Call State Farm agent Arthur Searcy for your personal price plan today.
I remember these. Will I have the money to send my kid to college? Well, that's specific. How long has that been there? 7-letter word for a bank that helps you reach your goals.
Synovus. Order for Synovus?
Thank you.
Are you Synovus?
Yes.
Are you gonna ask or should I?
A solid financial future doesn't happen by chance. Let's talk about your potential today.
Since 1951, we've been here for our local community, creating pathways to care. We meet you where you are, with trusted doctors in convenient locations throughout the area. Baptist Healthcare, here for you then, now, and always.
Need a new outfit for a special occasion? Look no further than Viola's Men's Apparel. Viola's has been providing the latest styles and accessories in Pensacola for over 20 years now. We have clothes for every occasion, and we offer consultations and group discounts. You can trust that our care, quality, and class will be unmatched. Viola's Men's Apparel, for all of your menwear needs.
Joe Morrison Son Funeral Home has been in business since 1913. Hi, I'm David Hawkins, the owner of Joe Morrison Son Funeral Home, saying we are a full-service funeral home. We offer pre-need funeral planning. We have a newly remodeled chapel and conference facility. Stop by and see us today. We have 9 vehicles, all waiting to service you. At Joe Morrison Son Funeral Home, we appreciate your stopping by. On behalf of all of our family here at Joe Morrison Son Funeral Home, thank you so much for allowing our family to serve you.
What is your story? It may take time to find it, You may even question if you have one worth telling. But when all seems lost, your story finds you. Because you don't need permission, just a place. And we'll be waiting. The American Black Film Festival. Everyone has a story. Yours belongs here.
This is your WBQP TV 12 Sports Report. Blue Wahoo's Update. Good morning, Vernon. Your Pensacola sports fans will want to hear this. So, turn your volume up, because your Blue Wahoos are absolutely heating up the diamond. Right now, the boys are locked into an intense road series up in Birmingham against the Barons. But don't you worry, the Wahoos will be right back here on the waterfront next week. And man, look at the momentum we're riding. Check the board. Pitcher Jacob Miller just put on an absolute clinic, dominant on the mound to secure that beautiful 4-1 victory over Chattanooga. Show some love to the skipper, too. Manager Nelson Prada just hit a massive milestone, capturing his 800th career managerial victory. That is how you lead a clubhouse, folks. The pipeline to the big leagues is staying strong, with our former Wahoos making big waves and earning those call-ups to the Miami Marlins. We are hovering right around that .500 mark, staying fiercely competitive in a tough South Division. You can still follow all the action on the road, support your hometown team, and lock in your tickets right now for the big return to Admiral Fetterman Field on June 2nd. Proud, passionate, Pensacola. That was your WBQP TV Sports Report. Go Wahoos!
Hello, I'm David Williams, District 3 Representative, seeking re-election to the Escambia County School Board. 4 years ago, I said, together we can make a difference. Today, I'm proud to say, together we have made a difference, thanks to your trust. And because of you, we do not have any failing schools. Our schools are safer, we've closed the achievement gap, and our students are college and career ready. I'm asking for your support again to re-elect me so that we continue the work that we started 4 years ago. Please visit my website at davidwilliams3.com to learn more about my initiatives I have accomplished and the ones I will pursue over the next 4 years. Early voting is August 8th through the 15th, and the primary is August 18th. Your vote is essential to keeping our community moving forward. Thank you.
So what day is the meeting? Fun day.
With daily draw games starting at $1, every day shall henceforth be known as Fun Day.
Every day's Fun Day with Pick Games, featuring drawings twice a day. The Florida Lottery. It's good fun.
Choosing the right school is one of the most important decisions you'll make for your child. At Jacqueline Harris Preparatory Academy, we provide a safe, supporting environment where students grow academically and personally. With strong core instruction and unique programs, students gain confidence, creativity, and real-world skills. At JHPA, we live by our motto, enter to learn, depart to serve. Enroll today and prepare your child to soar.
And it's going to be a warm Wednesday, high 83, low 64, and rain is in the forecast. Have a good hump day.
Hi, Vernon. Here's your WBQP weekly weather forecast. Wednesday, we'll see a slight break in the wet weather. Expect a high of 82 degrees with a low of 69 and only a 20% chance of rain. Thursday brings partly cloudy skies with a 60% chance of showers. Highs will reach 83 degrees with lows around 70. And we wrap up the week on Friday with partly cloudy conditions and a 20% chance of showers. Highs will reach 82 degrees with overnight lows around 72. Overall, it's a warm and humid week with several opportunities for showers. This is Cheryl Mulrain, and that's your weekly weather forecast. Have a great week and keep it locked right here on WBQP TV and radio.
WBQP is the voice of the Black community, the station that cares.
WBQP salutes the spirit of America, celebrating 250 years of freedom. Happy birthday, USA!
It's time for mornings with Vernon. Yeah. Yeah. Get up now. Come on now. Get up. For mornings with Vernon. Get up now. Let's go. Get up now. Turn it up now. 1, 2, 3. Let's get it now.
All right, y'all. Good morning. Morning with Vernon this morning. You know, it's 7:30. Actually, past 7:30. I got Mr. Community on the horn here. Ellison, good morning. How are you? Hold on, Mr. Ellison. Bennett, I need to hang on for a second. I need to get your audio on. The issue with the phone sometimes. Let's see here. Go ahead now. I got you now. Go ahead, Mr.
Okay. I have been in contact with the owners of everybody knows Truman Warrington Village. I know they changed the name to Oakwood Terrace and Forest Creek for Warrington Village, but I had reached out to them, my organization, the National Movement for Civil and Human Rights, because I have such passion for our young people, and we noticed the shootings that have been happening in the last 30, 40 days. Was able to talk to one of the owners. They have a new regional manager from Marquise who is here in town today. They called me last night and said, Ellison, we know this spur of the moment, but we really want you in a meeting today to discuss the improvements for safety at Oakwood Terrace and Forest Creek. So I invited Reverend Marcel Davis, Commissioner Luma May, because that sits in the heart of District 3. Also, Reverend Delarian Pogue Jr. from Harvest Ministries that have been going out to the property when we met about 2 years ago, and we was able to ask the owners to do a luncheon once a month for the tenants to have a more just good relationship between owners and the tenants, and we did that. And a new property manager came in last year, and that lunch, they did promise that is one of the things they're going to install again. They're also going to have a mental health counselor available to be on week to talk to people if they're having issues, depression, anxiety, children misbehaving, or whatever. I think it's going to be a very positive meeting with Marquise management today. Looking forward to that. Want to move now to the Fricker Center. I've been in touch with the city, City Councilman Delarian Wiggins. Everybody know now that Fricker Center is a construction site. I called the city several times and asked them to make sure it is secure in the evening hours, on the weekend, by having a fence up, sign up saying construction site, do not enter. The young people was able to go through a gate last week to play basketball. The city did send some people out to put up makeshift fence to block that gate. I was by there yesterday. The young people had opened the gate. It just comes straight from Adams Court property right to the basketball court, and that fence is back up again. I don't know if they had did it with just some type of plastic tires, and the guys cut that. But more importantly, that's on the F Street side. On the DeSoto Street side, the main entrance to Fricker Center, that gate is open 24 hours of the day. So all the guys do is walk around a half a block, come in on the DeSoto Street side, and go play basketball. Well, the construction company that's redoing Fricker Center have dug this big hole in the ground to be a holding pond where the baseball field used to be. My fear is that some child is going to be curious to look over in there, might fall over in there. We don't want to see nobody injured or loss of life. And the construction equipment is out there. So I think the construction company in the city can do a better job when the workers are gone at the end of the day and at night. Close it down. There is a sliding fence on the DeSoto Street side that's left open. Maybe it's not rolling like it should or whatever, but I think more effort should be given into securing that site. And if I'm stepping on toes with the city, so be it. I had asked them what was going to happen to the summer program for children at Addis Court, Mars Court. They said they will be shifted over to Pop Center and the Woodlands. And what disturbed me is that they want the children to pay $65 per week per child. For one child, it's $460 a month. Some of those families over there got 3, 4, 5 children in the family, and then they wanted the parents to furnish the transportation over to the Woodlands, which is behind Pensacola Village. I just think the question that I asked, the money that was allocated for Fricker Center for the summer program, where did that money get moved to? And I've been in contact with the Parks and Recreation Director. I called ECAT, trying to work out something with the director there, Thaddeus. And they said, okay, we working on it. I want to say thank you to Greater Little Rock and another nonprofit agency. I don't know the name of that one, but they have been going there in the last week, feeding children lunch, grilling hot dogs, hamburgers. Now, they don't do it every day. I think a different group goes in on whatever day, but at least somebody is showing effort and concern about these children in the Addis Court, Mars Court area. So hopefully the city will use better judgment, secure the construction site. I want to thank those groups again that's going in to Addis Court, feeding those children, and Milk and Honey is over there. They not have a very, very big building, but they're doing outstanding work there as well. So we just got to care more about each other, and we can't worry about what's going on in Washington, D.C. with that lunatic named Trump in office. His name is taken off of the Kennedy Center. They're not going to give him that $1.8 billion to pay the criminals, and they were criminals. They were convicted for storming the Capitol, doing damage to government property. I'm glad that is not going to happen. I know it was election night in 6 different states. We want to get the final results and see how that came out. And didn't we just need to hold our elected officials accountable, whether it's city, counties, state, or federal? We pay taxes. we deserve the best representation that we can get as people in this country. Whether it's city, county, state, or federal, we pay taxes. We should get better representation. So there's a lot going on. I know Palafox Street is open now. You can drive through there. They got some speed bumps in to slow people down. Just want to ask people to use caution because everybody looking around now at the improvement to that section of South Palafox that has been under renovation for the last couple of months. So a lot going on. We got to be careful that we make sure that seniors are not being exposed to too much heat. It got up to 100 degrees yesterday. So again, let's just be prayerful, pray for one another that we can have a good summer, no loss of life. Want to make a plea to the young people that are doing the shooting. Please, ma'am, please, sir, stop the insanity. Stop the insanity of killing one another. We can live better. We can do better. If we just take time to step away, take a deep breath and say, well, maybe if this person took something from me, we just count it as a loss and move on, because life is fragile. Life is so important. And people have been asking me about Mr. Robert Hill. Talked with him last week. He telling me he's doing well. And we just want to keep everybody in prayer. Deacon Fred Young from Mount Canaan is back in the hospital. We know we are going to funeralize Alfred Starworth, who had been at Joe Morris over 45 years as a licensed funeral director. That service is 11 o'clock on Friday at First Baptist Church in Warrenton. The viewing will be Thursday from 1 to 9, unless that has been changed over the last few days. So that's basically where we are this morning, Vernon. Thank you again.
All right, then. Thank you, Ellison. All right, y'all. That's Mr. Ellison Bennett, y'all. He had to get on the phone this morning. But it's 7:45. We got to get Miss Jill in this morning. Let's see what's got her program on this morning.
Welcome to Inside Okaloosa with Jill Daggs. Tune in on WBQP TV every Wednesday at 7:45 a.m.
Well, good morning, Jill. How are you?
Good morning. I am well. I got a phone call this morning from a friend who ran out of gas, and they were like, "Can you bring me the gas?" Because we always have gas because we cut the yard of a big lane. And I was like, "Yes." And then I got in the door. I was like, "It's 7:42. Oh my gosh, what am I gonna do?" So I'm here. I'm excited. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. Thank you.
Let me ask you this: were you able to hear Ellison?
I heard his last part.
Okay, all right. I want to make sure because sometimes we call on the phone, we have issues.
Oh yeah, he was loud and clear and perfect.
Okay, great. Okay, go ahead and continue now. I just want to make sure.
We want to get, I didn't know it was 100 degrees yesterday, so that must have been with the heat index. But anyway, it was hot. And I think after all that rain, we should expect some heat Thursday and Friday. And then guess what? We'll get a whole lot of rain for the next 5 days after that. So as he said, make sure that you're hydrated. Make sure you take care of your pets and look after your seniors and those that might need some extra assistance. Sometimes you get outside, Vernon, and you're working or you're walking or you're whatever, and you don't realize how hot it is and how you're draining the electrolytes out of your system. And so just be careful and know that hurricane season has started and we need to be prepared for the heat. And hopefully, maybe this will be another year that we dodge any major hurricane or tropical storm. That would be great. It's probably not likely. So you can go ahead and start getting your kits together. Maybe next week we'll talk about what should go in your kit and why do you need to do this, or at Vernon's request, we'll do that. What's going on?
We do need to talk about that as we go along this hurricane season. Because a lot of people get unprepared, but they need to know what they need to have available. And sooner or later we're gonna get a hurricane. We've been escaping it for 20 years now. So you better be careful.
Sooner or later,
right,
it's coming. And so maybe I'll make sure we get the list together. We usually send one out. I know the NAACP sends one out, and of course, the Red Cross sends one out. But there's some things that we can kind of go through that are important that you can just kind of have sitting aside just in case. And so we'll go over that next week. And let's see what's going on in Okaloosa. So in Okaloosa County, we are anxiously awaiting all the Juneteenth celebrations that are coming up. First one is in Crestview, and that is on Juneteenth on Friday, and that is from 11 until 5. The setup is on Thursday if you are a vendor, and they will have lots of vendors. They do it at the community center by the library. And so they have a full yard out front, a lawn, and they do lots of fun things for the kids. They get it. I don't know if you've ever seen, Vernon, those big blow up circles, and you sit in it and then you roll in a circle. Never wanted to do that, but the kids love it. And they have a whole bunch of stuff outside, and then they also have an inside kid zone where they bring like the basketball shooting things and video games, and it's really great, family friendly opportunity. And then on the other side of that, Crestview does an amazing job of doing the educational piece. What is Juneteenth? They have local participants dress up and they put on a skit or a play. They do it every 2 hours, and they get up just until the end of the emancipation, and they do that one at the last time, which I think is at 5. And then they have a band that comes, and it's just a great opportunity. You have vendors for everything that you can imagine. People come from across the states to come to this event because it's just that big. It's the biggest Juneteenth event in our areas. And then this year, on Saturday, the next day, there will also be a Juneteenth event at the Landing, and they are still accepting vendors. That one is 10 to 3. And so make sure that you're engaged, that this is something where we say, hey, do something. You can easily go out. Just get to know your community. This is something, it's educational, but it's also, there's a lot of organizations that come together that support each other, and you have an opportunity to see who they are, get engaged, find something that's dear to your heart, and join it. I think that we spend so much time watching what happens in DC or hearing about all the terrible things that go on in our legislative in Florida that we aren't taking care of ourselves. And so I'm going to strongly suggest to everybody, you should find something at least once a month, if not once a week, that you can cut out some time and just take care of yourself. But that doesn't mean just sit in your house and turn on the TV. I mean, go out for a walk. Go out for a walk with friends. Go to a community event. Go to your faith-based organization or place. Do something. Go to a park. I used to, before I got in the situation I'm in right now, I used to go to Turkey Creek, Vernon, every morning. I'd drop Jenna off at Rocky Bayou in Niceville, and then I'd go to Turkey Creek because they have a 3-mile, it's 1.5 miles each way, bridge. It goes over the creek. There's some information on the trees and the land and the bird. It's just beautiful. And it was a time where I could just, for me, it was just me and God. And I play my K-Love. If you guys know me, I love K-Love. It's Christian radio station, 95.7 here, 107.9. And I just could regroup, rejuvenate. And I miss that. And I think that we all need that now because there's so much going on. And so that's my suggestion for everybody this week. Kind of put it in your plan for the summer. Summertime. So if you go to the beach, you got the beach, you got museums, you got trips, you've got a few more graduations probably still left, maybe. And then the 4th of July and all of that's coming up. But take some time for yourself. It's so important that we're ready and we're prepared. And then while you're doing that, I'm going to also ask, check your voter status, register to vote, do your vote by mail. I like your vote by mail to be your plan A. If you don't know what vote by mail is, it is where your supervisor of election will send you your ballot. So regardless of your party, you just call your supervisor of elections office and you say, hey, my whole family in our household would like vote by mail. They sign everybody up. And then your ballot comes to your house prior to early voting and election day. And it gives you a couple of opportunities. It gives you an opportunity to actually see what's on the ballot. It gives you the opportunity to look up some of the candidates. If there's judges on there, if there's amendments on there, you can actually go through and figure it out if you haven't gone to one of the community events. And I just want you to know we have community events all across Escambia, Santa Rosa, and Okaloosa from now until the primary in August, and then the actual election, the general election in November. But if for some reason you didn't get to go to one of those, or you still had some questions, you can have your ballot in front of you and you can go over that. And then the second very, very important reason is because then you can fill it out, sign it, seal it, put a stamp on it, and walk just to your mailbox and drop it off. And you can also track it. So I know there's some question, if I put it in the mail, will they get it? I'm concerned. You don't have to worry because there is a way to track it. And you can call your supervisor of elections. If they haven't received it by early voting or by voting day, then you can say, I mailed it, you didn't receive it, and you can still go vote. I think that's important for everybody. I think that we can no longer sit back on our couches and be comfortable. I think you need to get uncomfortable and get engaged. So I'm not telling you what party to be with because I don't think that's as important as fighting for your community and your family. So I always tell people, family first, and then your community, and then you can worry about the state and the United States if you'd like. But we live in our community. Our community is where things happen. Our community is where we need to get engaged. And I am asking everybody to take care of yourself first, then get engaged by making sure that you're registered to vote. But it's not good enough to just register to vote.
Yeah.
Because if you're registered and you do nothing, then you are just one of the numbers that we have to count of people who didn't vote.
Yeah, Jill, let me ask you this question before I forget it. I hate to interrupt your flow, but if I don't remember to ask, I'll forget it, okay? Mail-in voting, okay? When you it has to be there by the day of election?
Yes.
Okay, now.
So they've changed everything. Everything's changing. So we'll get more definitive directions and we'll make sure that everybody knows, because I know they had something on the floor that was going to even change how early you needed to get it there. But they also have drop off places. You can also take your mail-in ballot to the supervisor of elections office.
Yeah.
There's many ways for you to get it there.
Let me ask you this.
Yes.
The reason I asked that question, because I had the supervisor elections on last week, and he made an important point, I think, that we need to take heed of if you want to mail in. He said, because way the postal system works now, you think you drop a letter in the mailbox in Pensacola today, you're going to get in Pensacola tomorrow. He says the mail in Pensacola has to be processed through Jacksonville first. They have to send it to Jacksonville, and all it get processed from Jacksonville, and then it gets sent right back out. Which made a lot of sense to me to explain to me, because I used to drop a letter in the mail, and it takes 2 or 3 days. In Pensacola, it takes 2 or 3 days. And somebody said, well, I'm sending you a check today, right? I putting it in the mailbox right now. Well, I don't get it till 3 or 4 days, 2 or 3 days later. I said, I don't understand that. Now I understand why, because all the mail systems, even though we got all these big post offices, I guess they just got a major processing system over in Jacksonville to redistribute it out. So that's important if you're going to mail in your ballot and get it there on time. So you got to mail it in early enough to allow for all of that, right?
Right. So I would say, and we'll figure it out. I think there's some things that we can do to let people know, hey, if you haven't sent it off by now, then you need to go drop it off at the SOE office or at one of the drop locations, because you just never know. You're right. I know for Okaloosa County, so he's talking Escambia County. So all of Okaloosa mail goes to Pensacola first. And so then if Pensacola's then sending it to Jacksonville and back, that's where all our mail goes, because we're just a smaller entity. So I know we had some people that were overnighting stuff, and it all went to Pensacola first. And so they overnighted it, but it went to Pensacola. It happened to be a Sunday, so we didn't get it till Monday. And I was like, what in the world happened? And then the post office told me all of our stuff goes to Pensacola first. That's our hub. And then whatever Pensacola has to do with it, they do. And then it comes back to Okaloosa County.
Yeah.
So yes, we want to be careful. I would not wait till the last minute. If you are, we'll give them dates, and I think that's something important, Vernon, that we can go over. And then also remember, you can always go early voting. I always push next early voting, because then you don't have to worry about where your polling location is. You still go in person. So some people say they just want to go in person. I want to actually feed my ballot through the machine. I want to fill it out there. I want to get my little sticker, because obviously you do your vote by mail at home. You're not getting the I voted sticker. But if you can feed it through, if that makes you happy. But early voting is key as well, because you can go to work and then stop by in your county, the closest location. But if you wait till voting day, which is also good, that's your last opportunity to vote. We're not going to tell you not to do it. But if it's storming, if there's a hurricane, if there's anything going on, guess what? You may very well end up in a storm, with your umbrella, or in the heat of 110 degrees. Think about it. Our primary is in August, so it's going to be hot. They still have the rules where we have to stay 250 feet away, so we can't, you have to come and get the water if there's water locations or snack locations. We want the lines to be long, but only because we want people to be engaged. But I'd rather have the early voting locations packed full, so that you can go where you need to go between the times that they have open. And I would urge across the state of Florida for the supervisors of elections to get together and to stop cutting out the second Sunday. They do know that the second Sunday is usually the day that we do souls to the polls. And I know in Jacksonville, they did a letter to their SOE and did a petition for them to extend that extra Sunday. So I'm just going to throw it out there. Start making some calls. Talk to your supervisor of elections. This is party-wide, meaning everybody gets to vote. This is not just for Democrats or just for Republicans, but for everybody. And I think that any extra time we can give people to be able to vote is what we need to do. And so, Vernon, I think there's lots that we can talk about on that. I want people to know that I promised I would have Santa Rosa's, and I don't have Santa Rosa's report this week, but I will definitely have it next week if we're not able to get BJ, who's the DEC chair, or Christina, who is the president of the Black Caucus and the Women's Caucus, I think still there, in Santa Rosa on your show tomorrow. I am really just honored that you give a piece of time to Okaloosa County, and that you're bringing us together. And so if Vernon can take time out of his exciting morning show to bring Okaloosa and Santa Rosa into the fold, then what I would ask is for everybody, to listen and to get engaged and involved, but to help spread the word, because this is an opportunity that we don't often get. And you can get lots of information, you can get engaged, you can get involved. And I'm just truly thankful, Vernon.
Yeah. I got my co-host Charles Thornton on this morning, so I want to take y'all to have an opportunity to share some thoughts together before you have to leave, Jill, if you got any. Good morning, Charles.
Good morning, Vernon. Good morning, Jill.
Good morning, Charles.
Listen to you. So glad, always good to see you.
You
and Vernon
too.
on Tuesday morning. That I don't have anything except good information. I'll listen to you, and I'll listen
Charles.
to Allison Bennett. And
Yeah, Charles, we got a guest on our show at 8:30. We got a Mr. Eric Shorter. He's gonna be running for mayor, so we can talk to him about that at 8:30. But before we get to him, I know Jill got some questions for you. Jill, you got anything? Y'all got anything? If you don't,
I do. I have to tell you something, Charles.
Yes, ma'am.
I need you to listen to this. You were on our show on Sunday, and Vernon, you know how he sits on the fence. He's a Democrat, but sometimes he like to trickle over to the Republican side. He didn't jump all the way over to the fence. I was like, I don't know what Charles said to you on Friday, but I need you to come back over on this side of the fence because he was talking a little crazy. So I just want you to know your influence is very seldom, but on Sunday last week, just 2-3 days ago, pierced his mind, and he was talking I don't know what, and we were just like, really?
No, Charles.
Really heard it.
Charles.
Oh, I'm listening. I
was talking common sense stuff. When we talk common sense stuff, then I get blamed to being a Republican. When I get to start talking, when I start asking real questions
over there, and maybe a whole foot off the fence.
I can imagine some of the things he was saying, but it just, we grew up common sense, right? We all grew up things that we all know that we somewhat probably had drifted away from, but I don't know what the subject matter was, but he didn't convince you though, did he, Jill?
Charles,
you still
no, we didn't come. No, they got mad at me and hung up on me.
We didn't
and that was my show,
we
Charles.
Stayed on until 9:05. The show's over at 9:00. And we were still talking at 9:05. And any other time, Vernon's like, we gotta go. But no, it was Vernon's time. So he was like, I'm gonna keep talking. This is my show.
What? Jill, I have so much respect for you, but Vernon, I'm kind of proud of you, but trust me,
you don't even know what he said.
He's
you won't
a
be
Democrat.
proud if you know what he said.
As long as he didn't use no profane language. I mean, it wasn't profane.
No,
it was just common sense.
No,
it was common sense for what he felt Democrats should do. So I don't know that you would be happy about it, but I'm just telling you. Yeah. For a moment, we were like, Derek called me. Derek called me.
Let me ask you a question. Okay, let me tell you what it's all about, Charles, real quickly. Okay, we got a discussion about the congressional district down in South Florida where the Hastings had, and you know that. I don't know. You're a political pundit. You probably keep up with this more than I do. Washington Schultz, whatever her name is.
Deborah Washington Schultz. Yeah.
So she jumped into that.
And
she jumped into that race. Okay.
Yeah.
And so the Democrat Party is mad at her for jumping into the race because they want to keep that candidate black. They want to elect a black candidate. I understand that. Okay. I understand the desire to have a black candidate. But my thing, I thought it was more important then you had to have a black candidate that just had the best candidate that's will certain. I think to me, my thing is I want a Democrat in there, regardless of color. Okay, a Democrat. Okay, and if the question came up whether or not you got a candidate of preference or a candidate that can be elected, whoever can be elected to that thing, and even regardless of color. I don't care. I want the best Democrat that we can find to represent us. But they're saying that, well, she need not to jump into that race. She need to stay in her own district, let somebody black and to fill the Hastings legacy, I will. But anyway, Jill, go. Y'all know more about that. But I'm thinking the best candidate win.
That was part of it, but that wasn't what I was talking about. But just
give me a hint. What you talking about?
I was talking about when you was telling us all to change over to Republicans so that we can figure out how to side.
John,
let's start. Wait, let's start. I just want to make sure everybody understands. So,
I have a comment. I have a comment on that when you finish, Jill.
The second part or the Debbie part?
Just overall.
Okay, so Debbie, that congressional district was Alcee Hastings, and he had always wanted, and the person that he asked to run in that race is running in that race. They have 6 African American candidates. That's the first problem. I'm just going to be honest, because if you have 6 and people have to pick 6, then there's no way that even though they have 50% black voters, if they're sharing that vote between 6 people, then anybody can come in.
There's a majority minority. It's a majority minority district. Right? Yeah, being a majority.
But if they're picking between 6 people, they become then the minority, because that vote is then spread out between 6 people. But they will have to figure that out. We've tried to say something. I can't change their minds, and I'm not in Broward County, so they're not.
The vote, right? It's dilute the vote.
And yes, and so, but Debbie could run in 22, and it would be a little difficult, but she's the one person who could win it. And I think what everybody's telling her is that, hey, we could have 2 seats instead of just 1 seat. And you have to preserve, there's only a few places where you still have black representation and we still need it. But let's go to the other thing. Or do you want to make your comment first?
My comment is always that I just always want the best candidate. And when you say you want a majority district, when I look at it from where I sit, from a political standpoint, what you're saying, you want a black Democratic district. Because if you had a black Republican running, I'm sure you wouldn't want that. So most of the time when you hear a Democrat say, we need to be represented, we need our own representation, you're talking black Democrats and not Republicans. And the way I see it is that you should have the best person. I believe a black person should and could be able to run wide, even in an open primary. And so it gets down to qualification. We need a black person on the Supreme Court. We need a black female vice president. And I would myself, in the mode of Martin Luther King, folks getting mad at me because I quote him sometime, but hey, I grew up in that era, that we can compete in all areas. I feel like if I wanted to compete, and I'm not into politics like running or nothing, but you want to have broad-based enough appeal so you don't have to be pigeonholed and limited in a single district. But if you call that representation, because the more you spread out, the more resources you bring to bear. Because we have most of our majority minority district, we still complain we're not getting enough of this, we're not getting enough of that, they're not doing this, they're not doing that because of it. So open it up, but I'm just one person, and trust me, nobody listens to me.
Hey, Charles, let me tell you why they got mad at me Sunday, okay? Now, my theory is, y'all know it, they want to throw me on my own show. But anyhow, not their show, but I broadcast. But anyway, Charles, I was saying, to me, common sense prevailed. If you're living in a ruby red district, okay, where there's no chance in hell of a Democrat getting elected, okay, why don't we just turn Republican and vote in, I guess, what I would call the lesser of the evils? Get a Republican that you can live with, rather than getting a Republican that they don't like and wasting those Democrat votes and something else. Get into the fray. That's my theory and my thinking about that. They didn't like that. Now, Jill
I want to say to Jill, not to cut you off, but I want to say to Jill that back during the 70s and the 80s, and that's what used to happen in Okaloosa. Most of the blacks in Okaloosa County used to change over and vote Republican so they can have a seat at the table. Am I correct, Jill?
Yeah, I heard. I was not here, but
But
yeah.
you know what Jill's theory is
But then
about that.
they didn't
But
change
they didn't
back.
convert back.
Yes, they did this. I mean, they did, and I think it was through the NAACP. But you can tell me. But I know there was a mass because we've had some that have come back. What's this? It was in 2020, and they were like, "Oh, we're going to come join the Black Caucus and the Environmental Caucus and the Hispanic Caucus and the LGBTQ Caucus," and we pull them up, and they're Republicans, and they're like, "No, I'm not." And I'm like, "Here it is. Like, I didn't make you a Republican. You made you a Republican." Oh yeah, I changed back in 1975.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then didn't know. How could you not know? But that's crazy. But that just also is education
It was a
and
known
understanding.
fact. So
And then here's my question to you, Charles, because I wasn't here. Did it work for them? Because
it worked for
I
them.
wasn't here in the 70s and 80s.
It did work because they was able to their vote, their majority, minority Republican vote, when they was able to convince, they was the margin of victory for some Republican candidate.
Hey Charles, maybe we can get Sabu and what's his name on it?
I know you're talking about Sabu and I know the other guy.
Come on, y'all help me out.
I know who you're talking about, but I'm not in Zambia. Is that who you're talking about?
I know who you're talking about. I have a picture.
Him and his brother over there.
Sabu left and he took over.
Yeah.
Went overseas. Sabu left, went overseas.
Yeah, but go ahead. But anyhow,
he's the president now. So but
that's why that's why they got mad at me, Charles.
Common sense. Do you rather have do you rather run a person of color and lose the race?
No, he was talking about it in our county.
But what you want to do, you know, you can get that same representation from a black Republican, and he would be able to attract some of those votes. But the litmus test is that you got to be a Democrat.
Okay. Well, yes and no. So he was talking about in our area, but in 20, if let's say the primary, because I do think somebody got in. I think they made sure it wasn't an open primary and somebody got in. So I think you have a Republican, and I think he's black, if I'm correct, that is now in 20. So he will run against whoever wins the primary in August. And then that would be the question. Would they rather have, and then we'll find out. I don't have that answer because I don't live there. Will then the majority say, hey, it was more important for us to have black representation, let's say Debbie wins, or is it more important for us to have a Democrat? So that's a great question, and I don't have the answer to that.
I can respond to that. We had the same issue over in Santa Rosa County. We had an individual that was had changed over to Republican. What we look at as Republicans, I'm telling you, we really don't look at the color of your skin. We look at your values, your conservative values. Do you have, now if you it's last year or the year before that, or whatever, if you have conservative values, yes, you can be elected. But if you're doing this, you see an opportunity, then the folks can see through that. We call that a rhino. A Republican in name only. So a rhino, I am a true Republican. You know, up, down, all around. The Republicans know that. They know Charles Thornton, and I attract Republicans, even in an African American community. But some folks, you can't be an opportunistic person and come over to our party and think you're just going to do something. Go ahead,
Charles. Are you saying you're a true Republican, right?
Right.
Are you center right or center left? Are you center right or left Republican? You conservative?
I'm right. I'm right. I'm center right.
Right.
I'm not right of center. I am not right of center. I am center right. Did you get that, Jill? Jill, you know what I'm saying, right? I am not just right of center. Some people just right, left, or center. You know, but I am center right.
But what's the difference between I I don't know what you would left or if you conservative, you right on this right, and you liberal, you're on the left, right? Now, what's the difference between a conservative Democrat and a liberal Republican?
You're not going to really find a true conservative.
You don't have any Republican that center left.
You're not going to find what you can find. You can find Democrats that are center left. Like the guy in Pennsylvania, that the senator from Pennsylvania, and there are a couple other Democrats that and we call them common sense or no nonsense Democrats. And you have the same thing on the Republican side. We got about 3 or 4 that we just kicked a couple of them out of office, and and hopefully we can maintain the seats in Kentucky and in Texas and a couple other places. We were not as successful getting our candidate in last night, but you cannot be a rhino if say you just a Republican in name only. You're wearing the label because you feel like that label is going to get you something that. Well, same thing in a Democrat with the Democrats.
We know. Hey, Charles, we're gonna have to get Eric on in just a second here. But that's what Jill and they're trying to label me as a Dino.
We didn't label him as anything.
Democrat in name only.
Dino.
He's not a dino. That would be a dino.
Dino is a dino. Okay, dino.
Vernon,
not a dino. But
Vernon, your next cup of coffee is on me.
I knew it.
I tell you one day.
You just wanted free coffee. That's
no. Let me tell you. I want to make this. I'm like what's his name? Said I want to make this perfectly clear. Was it Nixon?
Oh.
I want to make this perfectly clear.
Yeah.
I was born a Democrat, and I want to die a Democrat. Okay, and I don't care what you think, Jill, being a Dino or not.
Dino.
But I told you I'm
not a dino. So let's clarify. There's no way Vernon is he born a Democrat and he's died Democrat, and he gonna go get that coffee with Charles though for free coffee.
Oh, you don't get that coffee. So I walk the fence. I walk the fence on both sides because I vote Republicans when I think there is a better Republican candidate. Okay, and I'm not ashamed of it. Mike Coulter is one of my kind of commissioner, Charles. I love Mike Coulter. He's Republican. I vote for him. Chip Simmons. I vote for Chip Simmons because I think these people and they served them. They have served us right. They're both straight up. They serve both communities well and everything. So I don't see
Robert Bender is the same way. Robert Bender is the same way.
Robert Bender is the same way. I would love, I'll be honest with you, we had some black candidates that ran for office, which I would love to have been elected. But we know, I'm a realist. I know that they couldn't be elected. Okay, they couldn't be elected because that's just not enough support. So I'm of the opinion. Let's get the lesser of the evil, so to speak. Now, not saying that these evil, but the ones I did vote for really I thought I made a good choice because they're serving our interests.
I like Lumen May. I like Lumen. I can't donate to him. I can't donate to him, and I'm not going to take no pictures. I'm not going to take no pictures.
You can get the enormous donation, Charles. You can get it to me. I sign it to him. I won't tell him you.
No, you. I won't
tell Republican Party.
The only way to keep a secret, Jill, is keep it to yourself. Don't tell nobody. I can't do none of that because of my position in the party. But I consider him my friend, and I give him words of encouragement. And before I got so deep into the party, I would do some. I like Lumen because he has our best interest. But if I could find a Republican that was good as Lumen May, I'll give him a good look because that's a Republican. But I don't have one. You got to look at your options and your alternatives where you can get the most bang for your buck and for your people.
You got to look at. Listen to y'all anyway. Don't even get me started. I'm in Okaloosa, so I'm gonna stay in Okaloosa. You see, I like
You got a
Lumen as a
Republican.
person.
Come
I
on, Jill.
absolutely do.
Nobody's
I like
watching.
Lumen as a person, but I would say this. There are times, and this is too fabulous, Lumen May, that you could abstain. The word is abstain. You don't have to go along with and then come back and be like, well, you know, I didn't agree.
That's why
but
I
I
like
just went with it. But you got to be real. You're supposed to be real to yourself. If you
But-
didn't agree, I don't need your lip service to tell me you didn't agree. I need your actions to say you didn't agree. And abstaining is not going to stop the process because it's
But Jill, this is a whole new conversation. We got to get Eric in, but this is a whole new conversation. Listen, hold up a minute. But that's a whole new conversation, okay? I think I hear what you're saying, but sometimes when we elect people into office, we're not electing them to vote their conscience. I don't care what they say. We elected them to vote the conscience of the constituency, even though I might feel one way about a subject, okay? But I shouldn't vote my conscience because I feel this way. I wasn't elected myself. The people elected me. So if my constituency says that I should vote one way, contrary to how I feel, I should vote the constituency way because that's who I represent. And I'm finding that a lot of times in Washington and everywhere else, people voting their own personal interests over the will of the people. Okay?
That is correct. In this instance that I'm talking about, the will of the people was for you to say no. You couldn't say no. Sometimes you just can't say no, but you can always abstain. Like we know you have to uphold, you know what I mean? There's some things that get too much backlash, but an abstention is saying, I hear the people and I'm going to go either neutral or not at all.
All right. Yo, I got to get, Jill, you're welcome to stay on.
I gotta go to work. I told you. I'm late. I got
Charles,
we'll finish this now. I just want you to know. Just go ahead, Vernon.
She said she got to go to work. What is that?
Work. Well, sometimes it's all this volunteer work. Actually, it is a volunteer work. I'm going to the Crestview Community.
Me and Charles are retired.
And I'm going to help veterans and people that need help today. And we're getting food. And
I'm going to do Vernon's show. And then I'm going to take my midday nap.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. I'm not there yet. I'm sorry. I'm just not there yet. But when I get there, I'm going to enjoy it.
You do that. Jill, thank you, sugar. I appreciate you coming on every week. I'm glad you stay on that little extra so you can keep Charles in line. Trust me. I know Charles. And we can bring him back to the Democratic Party, Jill. Okay. Only thing
he was Senator.
Well, you just wink at him one time, he'll jump. Okay.
Jill,
but anyhow, I jump and sit back down in that seat.
Don't believe if I come over there, I'm probably coming on a fact finding mission.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. We'll keep that in mind. Well, everybody, thank you so much. Make sure that you have a wonderful week and you take care of each other. And we will let you in, Charles. You are now blocked. You cannot come in.
All right, bye.
All right, y'all. Listen. We got a mayoral race coming up, and I got a special guest this morning, y'all. Mr. Eric Shorter, y'all. So he's running. As among many others, he's running for mayor of Pensacola, and I want to see can I get him in here. Eric, I had him had gotten tuned in here. Eric, are you able to hear me, Eric? And come in.
I can hear you perfectly fine.
All right, where your picture at, Eric?
Well, that's what I'm looking for. I've been messing with this camera, trying to see. I see the video, but I do not
bottom
see.
Bottom left.
Yeah, and I've got it. I've asked it to come on, integrate web camera.
So it's not coming on for you, huh?
No, I don't understand. So I apologize about that.
All right, no problem. I got the picture. I got the picture up anyway.
I got you.
So yeah, I got the picture up. Well, let's talk about first of all, let folks know who is Eric Shorter.
Well, look, I describe myself as a true son of Pensacola. Born and raised, and I'm from a long lineage in Pensacola. When I start talking about my family, people typically tend to know who some of my family members are. Like one of my grandfathers was Judge L. Martin. He was the first community action director for the program Head Start. And my other grandfather is Abraham Pierce, who was a small business owner in the Belmont Village area.
506. The 506 fame?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
That's my granddaddy.
Oh man, that's awesome. I
So
played in a band.
So that's my grandfather, and so that's a little bit about my lineage. Like I said, I'm tied to Pensacola. I'm a true son of Pensacola, beyond a shadow of a doubt.
Okay, let me ask you this then: why did you decide to run for mayor?
Well, I will tell you, it's an interesting thing. I was coming from Doha, Qatar, and a good friend of mine, Colonel Dan Bartlett, said to me, he said, "Shorter, you should run for mayor." And I went, "What?" He goes, "Yeah, you're a true son of Pensacola." And I go, "Yeah, I don't know. I think I just kind of want to go on and, retire like everybody else and start living my best life." Well, it turns out I came out on the command list, and he goes, "Well, I don't know, General Shorter. It looks like you belong to the military." And I went, "Not today. I'm going home." Well, I will tell you, after he said that to me, that idea began to grow in my mind. And I started thinking, I said, man, we have done a lot now. And so as I start to look around Pensacola, I'm thinking there's a lot that could be done. The current mayor has done a fantastic job. He's done beautifully, and I'm thinking, okay, well, here's an opportunity to kind of continue that growth spurt that we're currently seeing and take it citywide is what I'd like to do. I think that with my current level with my vision, my experience, and the knowledge that I've got and the leadership, we can truly put Pensacola on the map.
Okay.
Eric, I have not heard about your campaign. This is my first time knowing that you are running for mayor. Is that by design? Are you waiting? Do you have any type of campaign going on as far as getting the information out to the citizens of Pensacola?
Well, sir, I will tell you, your name has come up to me several times. I was supposed to be speaking with you. And so what I have been doing, believe it or not, I began to get out, and I've started visiting a couple of churches. I visited Echo Church, and then I just recently visited the church Zion Baptist Primitive Church. Yes, sir. I just visited them, and I've also visited the Silver Seniors over at Brownsville, and so I've been over to the Cobb Center. So my name's starting to get out a little bit more. Like I said, I didn't come right out like all the others. I think the other people have been running for 5 and 6 months, maybe longer. My decision to run came a little bit later in the game. But my thought process is that, hey, when people are presented with options, then they have an opportunity to select the best possible option for whatever it is that they're attempting to achieve. Me, myself, personally, I've got something I've put together. I call it Shorter's Core 4. And what I'm looking at is I'm looking at vertical economic initiatives. I'm looking at affordability. I'm looking at neighborhood revitalization and education.
That's awesome. I don't know much about you, but I know you're qualified. I can just, based on where you are and your background, once you say military, colonel, and stuff like that.
He's a military man, Charles. He's just like us.
I would love to learn more about you. I would love to learn more about you.
Yes, sir. Well, I'm going to reach out to you, Mr. Thornton, because I was supposed to have gotten to you. Unfortunately, I'm not moving as quickly as I should have. Apparently, social media and these things are very important in the game, in the political game. I wasn't initially a politician, but we all know that when you're in the military, you're a little bit political, beyond a shadow of a doubt, once you become a field grade. So I will tell you something about my vertical economic initiatives. I had an opportunity to visit the port, and I visited with the gentleman there, the director, Lance Scott, former 2-star admiral, rear admiral. I had a chance to visit with him, and myself and Colonel Dan Bartlett. We went over and we toured the port. It gave us an opportunity to get a closer look, and that's one of the aspects that when I started talking about vertical economic initiatives, what is possible, and we did share with him that there was a lot that could be done, and because I've had the experience that I've got, I could certainly bring that knowledge forward, and we could begin to move Pensacola into some jobs. I would say that would start around $60,000 to $80,000 a year. Absolutely, beyond a shadow of a doubt. They've got a couple of clients. They've got 3 clients over there right now: Cemex and GE Ravalis. Cemex does cement. It's moved by barge, and then GE Ravalis are the large windmill blades, and then of course they've got American Magic, which are the sailboat personnel. So, but I'm thinking that we could create some shipping lines and do a lot of other things with the port. That's one viable economic position that we could bring to Pensacola. And when I started talking about affordability, and I've been hearing people talk about it. So I live downtown, gentlemen, and downtown Pensacola looks great. Like I said, my hat is off to the mayor for helping to bring that about. Downtown, beyond a shadow of a doubt, has been gentrified. We built some affordable housing downtown, and it started at $400K. $400K, may be out of the reach for the average working Pensacolian, not for Colonel Shorter, and probably not for Mr. Thornton and Mr. Watson, but for the average working Pensacola family. So I'm thinking that everyone always talks affordability. What does affordability cost? I would say roughly $200,000 a year. $200,000 is affordable. And I've got 3 different initiatives that I put together to kind of take a look at assisting with affordability. Also, in addition to that, I want to take a look at what's going on with the homeless population as well, because that I've been out and I've been pressing the flesh with people because, sir, I know what I know, but I don't know what you know. And the only way I'm going to know what you know is to get out and start talking to people. So I'm actually on Facebook. My Facebook page is Colonel Eric W. Shorter. And if you come to my Facebook page, it's public, you'll see that I've been out and I've been talking to a lot of different people. And my website should be up today. I kind of have to laugh about you asking me if that was by design. And I went, yeah, it sounds like I'm running an insurgent campaign. I'm a sleeper cell. Maybe. But hey, we have the possibility to do great things. And so my next initiative is neighborhoods. I want to kind of come into these neighborhoods and I want to address some issues like sidewalks and street lights and parks and community centers. And those are things that I think that would bring, that would improve residents' lives overall. Those are very simple things that could be done. And I'm certainly aware of where the city was at, and they were attempting to do that. I met with the Optimist Group, the Northwest Pensacola Optimist Group the other night, and I had the pleasure of speaking with the director of Parks and Rec, Miss Bird, and learning a little bit more about what it was that Pensacola has been doing. And then, of course, when we get to education, which is my fourth initiative, I've been thinking about this. You get a lot of students that are graduating, and if you all have raised sons or daughters, and you know whether or not your son or your daughter is going to go to college. And sometimes you may have a son and you're thinking, my God, can I just get this young man through school without him killing somebody or having a child? But so I'm thinking, when they graduate, why shouldn't they graduate and be an HVAC technician or a welder or a plumber? Something of that nature. We can certainly do that. So I've been looking at programs in other schools in order to implement that and make that possible. But let me quit talking so you gentlemen can get a word in. I'm a colonel. You know how that goes. I will talk to you.
One thing I can say is I look forward to learning more about you and your campaign. City of Pensacola mayor is a nonpartisan position. So what you're probably going to need to do, you're probably going to need to talk to, you don't have to look at party. You talk to the Democrats as well as the Republicans. Not only, and so that means you would actually get a chance to, I don't know your political persuasion, and you don't have to tell me that on air, but you probably want to talk to Derek Scott as well. He's the president. He's the chairman of the Democratic Party. Myself, I'm the vice chairman of the Escambia County Republican Party. So, but your race is a nonpartisan race, and I know I know, I know. So, but anyway, if we get to talk offline, we can talk offline. I'm not, I'm always open for a listening tour, and then once I do the listening tour, then we see is there a gray area where we can collaborate, and that's with all the candidates. It's just that as the vice chair, there are certain things. The Republican Party, there are certain things I don't do, but you're fortunate enough to be on a nonpartisan seat.
Yes, sir. Well, I will tell you, this gentleman, Derek Scott, I went to a meeting with the AKAs, had a nonpartisan event just recently, and I attended that. And that gentleman, Derek Scott, was there, and he asked me to be part of a panel that he's got coming up on the 13th of June. And I have committed to do that. So I will get an opportunity to come over and speak with those gentlemen. And there was a young lady by the name of Cindy Martin who wanted me to speak with you as well. And so, absolutely. So, sir, you are on my list. So,
okay. So Vernon has my number. I can give it to you if you want to write it down now.
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
Okay. My number is 850-346-0231.
Yes, sir. You can certainly expect a call from me today. Beyond a shadow of a doubt.
Is a good candidate for the Thornton Review.
Yeah. I have a podcast. I don't know whether you ever heard of it, but it's called the Thornton Review. And Vernon runs it on his TV station. It's been around a while, and you are a good candidate for it. But we can talk about that. It's a just like WBQP, it's well and it's recognizing it, and folks in Pensacola know about it. The Thornton Review, you can go to thorntonreview.com. It's on. We're all over Vimeo. We're on YouTube and all that. I have someone that runs that for me, but we'll talk about all of that. We'll talk about all that when you call me.
Yes, sir. Well, I certainly look forward to being having a conversation with you and being on the Thornton Review. Like I said, Pensacola is a wonderful town, and I'm absolutely certain, beyond a shadow of a doubt, I've got the vision and the experience to make a difference. Like I said, the current mayor has done beautifully, but with the knowledge that I have, we can certainly move Pensacola forward and do things for all of the citizens across the board.
Which school did you attend, Eric, while you was here?
I'm a graduate from Pine Forest High School.
Okay, very good.
Pine Forest High School. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Hey, Charles. Go ahead, Eric.
Oh, I lived in Washington's district, but I decided I wanted to attend Pine Forest High School. So there you are. So yeah, I mean, look, you got some questions for me, gentlemen. Please fire away.
I just want to say that when I was coming up, I started a band, co-founder of a band called the Soul Roars, and we played around Pensacola, and we used to play at your granddaddy's club as well.
At the 506.
Yeah, we played at the 506.
Hey Charles, I played at the 506 too, but in a different format. I played that and I got played many times at 506.
Yeah. You was an observer.
Hey, look, I tell you, clearly that 506 must have had some serious stuff going on. I hear people talk about that Savoy Ballroom, and one of my relatives is still from that era, is still alive. It's my Aunt Carly. She's 92, and of course I was at the event. I was at the Cop Center, and I showed her picture. And I will be darned if all of the people did not know her, because she attended 6th Avenue Baptist Church, and so I'm like, yeah, she's still alive and kicking, and that's my girl. So I go by and see what she's doing. So,
yeah, you have good lineage, historical heritage, and you just have to, like I tell all individuals, candidates, just got to get the word out. And
yes, sir.
Where you came from, and you've done a lot between the time that you came from here and where you are now. Your journey. Pretty much speaks for itself, and you've gained a lot through that, because it's my first time here. I'm excited to hear about your candidate. That's just because I'm excited for Pensacola. It's not a disclaimer on any other candidate. But what we need more uh, uh, people in the race who have the ability, content, and has all that stuff. And you good addition to the race.
Yes,
It's not,
sir.
Hey, Charles, let me ask this question. Is because you more politically astute than I am, and there you probably know the answer to this question too. Is qualifying? Is everybody is everybody qualified? Is the qualifying time in already or what?
Well, we have up to the 26th of this month to actually qualify. And a majority of people have gone around and collected signatures in order to decrease the amount of money that might be due with respect to qualification. I did not collect signatures because I made a determination to pay the fee in order to qualify. And, I can only smile because Mr. Thornton start hitting the nails on the head when he said, I hadn't heard about you. And, is that by design? I mean, like I said, I've been out. I've seen the AKAs. I've been over to Echo Church, fantastic church, meeting with those people. I've been meeting, like I said, I met the park director. I had a chance to meet the Port Authority. Look, I'm interested in jobs because I know that jobs, because if we can bring in the right kind of jobs, a rising tide will lift all ships beyond a shadow of a doubt. And I think that if men and women in Pensacola are employed at the right level, then you know what? Everything else will fall in line beyond a shadow of a doubt. I want to make sure that we produce the types of jobs that allow people to purchase homes, send their kids to college if they so deem, and take vacations. And when people are gainfully employed, we know that we see a drop in crime and things of that nature. I had an opportunity to meet Eric Winstrom, the new chief of police. Once you all go on my Facebook page, Colonel Eric W. Shorter, you'll see that I've been out and about with, I would have to say, who's who in the zoo, because there are some things that we need to know in order to begin to properly move forward.
And have you had an opportunity to look at your precincts and have you broken them down and identified them?
Sir, yes, sir. Yes, sir. I've got all that information, and in fact, it's really interesting. I'm currently 55 years old myself, and so some of the people that I know are a little bit older, and so as I put together my ground game, it requires a younger force for the door knocking and flyer handout, things of that nature. So I began to assemble that team. But it's interesting, as I began to kind of get out there, it was my understanding that there's a buzz about me in the community. And I ran into a couple of other business owners that I knew. And one of them happened to have the name of a friend of mine. And I asked him, and he goes, "Oh, I'm his uncle." And they're like, "Yeah, we've heard of you." And I've been a little bit surprised about the people that knew me, as well as the gentleman from the Optimist Club. I walk every day downtown, out there on Main Street, and they're like, "Oh, that's him. He's running for mayor." And of course, all the people from American Airlines know me too, because I fly constantly. So, but it's one of those things. But we can do wonderful things with Pensacola. Let me tell you, I've got some great ideas, and I will tell you this. I was telling people that we're not going to spend money that we don't have, and we're going to be accountable and responsible to the people that would, if they so choose to elect me. We're going to do what they want to do, not necessarily what I personally feel. We're gonna move toward making their lives better because there's an expectation that they've set forward, and we're going to do that. That's how I would operate. I believe in servant leadership. It's not about buying me a car or buying me a house. It's about me, serving the public. And when I say me, I really mean we. So there's different types of management approach. I believe in participatory leadership. I think that anything that I want to do, I think that we need to have a conversation with the public on some things before we move forward. There's been a lot of buzz with respect to these data centers. There's been a lot of buzz with respect to the opioid crisis and things of that nature. So I think a conversation needs to be had. And I would certainly be open to having a conversation. And so I've been attending the city council meetings as well. So I'm out there, Mr. Thornton. I just hadn't gotten to you yet or seen you, but I'm on your radar now.
right? And you want to pay close attention to your voters, particularly your A+ voters.
What that mean, Charles? A+ voters.
Please,
Eric knows what that
elaborate.
means. Huh?
Your A+ voters.
Yeah, but I want to know what's the name. I must be a D- voter, Charles. What's an A+ voter?
Hey, we're going to school here.
Hey, Charles, you rated the same way about being a Christian. Some folks saying they are A+ Christian. I consider myself a C- Christian. So, am I a D- voter? So, what's an A+ voter, Charles?
Well, everybody in Pensacola knows Charles Thornton is just an average guy. I'm C. I graduated. Thank you, Lordy. I made it through the university, made it through everything, and I only thing I do, Eric, is surround myself with smart people.
Yes, sir. Hey,
they gotta
listen,
be. If you're gonna come around me, you got to be smarter than me.
hey, Mr. Thornton, listen, I'm a firm believer. If you're the smartest man in the group or the room, it's time to leave. Time to leave.
Yeah. I have a lot of smart people around me, but they say, how you do that?
Oh yeah, you know.
But anyway, Vernon know what I'm talking about, right, Vernon?
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean, Charles. All right, about time is about up, but Eric, I'm going to give you a last opportunity to sum up anything that you want folks to know about you and your run for mayor and your initiatives here.
Well, I appreciate the opportunity to come on your show, Mr. Vernon, and the opportunity to speak with Mr. Thornton. I will say to the residents of Pensacola, we have an opportunity. We actually have an opportunity right now. And I will tell you that we all know that you're only as smart as the people that are surrounding you. And with that being said, you know, I'm a colonel. I'm Colonel Eric W. Shorter. Good friend of mine is over there, and we've been looking at this problem. His name is Colonel Dan Bartlett. And there's another friend of mine named Colonel Tracy McMillian and Colonel Wes Norman. We have been looking at these. We have been looking at what Pensacola needs and how to solve those problems. Someone asked me the other day, you know, what are you all doing? And I was speaking at the nonpartisan event for the AKAs. And I told them we have been up since 5 this morning working on economic initiatives and things that were possible for Pensacola and things that may be organic. And I will tell you that I stay up late at night now thinking about how do I make the lives of the residents of Pensacola better? And that is the truth. I stay up at night now and I'm just like, okay, I'm clearly interested. And like I said, we now have an opportunity. I'm not bought or paid for by anybody. I'm only interested in making sure that the people of Pensacola are good. I tell people all the time, I live downtown, I'm good, but I want you good too. So vote for Eric W. Shorter. I appreciate your time, gentlemen.
All right, thank you. Charles, you got anything else for Eric? Eric, I'll tell you what, it's nice meeting you. I reached out to Eric the other day and he responded. I want to, because just like in all the candidates, in all fairness, I want to give everybody an opportunity that's running. I think we deserve to hear from all of the candidates, and so they can make their best informed choice. And but Eric, I thank you for exercising your civic duty for reaching out to be. Wouldn't it be great if we had a black mayor in Pensacola, Charles?
I'm going to vote for Eric because of his qualifications from it. I look at him and I look at the other folks running, and I think it would just be nice to have.
Charles, you know you're talking like a politician. You know you don't live in the city now.
But
you make a good point.
We can't deny the fact that he's an African American. He's a black man. But I'm looking at his resume and comparing it to others' resume. Now just and all things being equal, I think he floats. That he's very competitive. He's very competitive. You know. And
I know some folks. I'm a realist, Charles. I'm a realist. I understand what your point is, and that was my point the other day in our other show, in our debate where we had early this morning when we had our Sunday night show on Our Voices. We can, in my opinion, is that you should vote over the qualifications. I want to make sure because I'm a Democrat, I want to make sure a Democrat win, but I want the best Democratic to win, regardless of color, right? And so that was your point. Now, but somebody asked me in 2008, you voted for Barack Obama because he's black? Hell yeah, I did. I didn't know much about Barack Obama, but it turned out my selection was good. I made a good choice, but I wanted to see a black president. But every once in time
the way I would, Vernon, not to cut you off, but the way I would say it is that Eric is a very qualified, good track record.
He didn't get to be a colonel. He didn't get to be a colonel for no reason, Charles.
That's like Vernon Watson. You're a good television station owner who just happened to be black. I'm vice chair of the Escambia County Party. I'm qualified. I know how to do the job. I just happen to be that. I'm not going to put my race on the front end. I'm going to put that who just happened to be. I can't change that. But it's what you bring to the table.
Mr. Thornton, thank you. Thank you for that. Yes. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. All right, gentlemen, there's anything else before we would say in chat? Is there anything else for the good of the order?
Nope. Just, gentlemen, thank you all for the opportunity. Colonel Eric W. Shorter, I'm on Facebook, and like I said, my website will be up today. And Mr. Thornton, I look forward to talking to you, sir.
Thank you so much, Eric.
Yeah, Eric, Charles, I've been knowing Charles for a long time. He's good. I don't care what they say about him. He's a good man, regardless of what they say about him around town. But he's a good man, though, okay? Trust me. His heart's in the right place. Okay, no problem. All right, y'all.
Have a great day.
Eric, thank you so much. Charles, thank you so much. Charles is with me every Wednesday. He's my co-host every Wednesday here. Charles, you got anything you want to say before we go?
No, Vernon. A good show today, Vernon. I appreciate what you're doing. I appreciate what you're doing from the bottom of my heart.
No problem. This is my ministry, Charles. Even though I don't make no money at it, but it's my ministry. So as long as I pay the bills, I'm going to be here, Charles.
And I'll make sure that I try to drive a few dollars your way when the opportunity presents itself.
Oh, thank you so much. You always do. You always thank you. All right, folks, I got to get out of here. I'm on every Monday, y'all. Monday through Friday from 6:30 to 9, right here on WBQP, the voice of the black community, y'all. The station that cares, the information station. So, folks, I'll see you again tomorrow on Morning with Vernon. Stay tuned. Tell everybody about it.
It's time for Mornings with Vernon. Yeah. Yeah. Get up now. Come on now. Get up. For Mornings with Vernon. Get up now. Let's go. Get up now. Turn it up now. 1, 2, 3. Let's get it out.
Start your day with Mornings with Vernon on WBQP, Monday through Friday from 6:30 to 9 a.m. Watch on Channel 12 and listen on WBQP Radio on your phone, Alexa,